Hi, welcome to this section on cloud deployments. On AWS, deployment means not only application deployments, but also the infrastructure that runs them. Both could and should be automated in order to achieve consistent and trouble-free deployments. So in this section, we're going to start by looking at CloudFormation, the easiest way to automate infrastructure deployments. With CloudFormation, we create templates that define our infrastructure as stacks of AWS services. Eventually, we may build up a library of these templates and we can publish them to users in our organization in Service Catalog. Next, we'll cover different options for deploying application code on AWS infrastructure, and we'll discuss custom AMIs, bootstrapping, elastic beanstalk, and code deploy. The virtual infrastructure and managed services available from AWS are launched and configured using their service APIs. Even the management console calls the service APIs underneath. Because everything is an API call, the process of launching infrastructure is scriptable, which means your infrastructure should be considered software and not hardware. In this video, we're going to describe and demonstrate using CloudFormation to deploy and update your infrastructure. CloudFormation will make the appropriate API calls according to the resources you define in your template. A CloudFormation template is a text file in either JavaScript object notation or YAML format. CloudFormation templates provide a write once and deploy many method of infrastructure creation that allows you to use the same template for multiple environments like dev, test, staging, and production. You can even use one template to deploy the same resources in more than one region. Once you start using CloudFormation templates to deploy infrastructure, you can update your infrastructure by simply updating the template and executing it again. So if you store your templates in a version control system, you will have a self-documenting history of your AWS configuration over time. To make it easy to create CloudFormation templates, AWS also provides a feature on the management console called CloudFormation Designer that lets you drag and drop icons for AWS services onto a canvas while it automatically generates the template. Here is an example of a CloudFormation template in YAML format. YAML is designed to be human readable, and it also allows you to add comments to your template. For more information on the YAML format, you can visit yaml.org. Here is an example of a CloudFormation template in JavaScript object notation, abbreviated JSON. JSON isn't quite as human readable as YAML, and doesn't support comments, but it is easier to generate and parse. Almost any IDE for JavaScript can be used to color code and validate JSON, so it is a favorite with JavaScript developers. Let's look at the different sections of a sample CloudFormation template that will launch a WordPress blog. The parameters section allows you to prompt users to enter certain variables at runtime when they want to execute the template. In this example, we are asking the user to provide the name of the key pair that will be used for logging into the instance, and the type of EC2 instance to use. The values that the user enters will be referenced in the resources section of the template. The user's entries can be validated to match a valid type, format, regular expression, or must be in a list of valid options. Here is part of the resources section of the template. For each resource, you list the properties that are required to create it. Notice the ref keyword. This is where the parameters entered by the user will be used as properties for this instance. Notice also that the CloudFormation template includes user data script that will be executed by this instance when it launches. Some properties, such as an AMI ID, will change depending upon the region in which you are executing the template. So you can't hard code this value as a property for an instance defined in the resources section because the template would only work in one region. So instead, you provide a lookup table for values like that. In CloudFormation, this is known as the mappings section. It allows you to look up values based upon a parameter such as the region the template is executing in. In this example, the lookup table will provide the values for the OS architecture and AMI ID by region. In your resource properties, you obtain the value by using the function findInMap. Finally, the output section is used to define return values after the template executes. In this example, we are using a couple of functions to return the URL for our WordPress blog after the template execution completes. Alright, so let's go ahead and deploy our WordPress blog using CloudFormation. Click on CloudFormation under Services, and then Create Stack. I already have the template in an S3 bucket, so I'll just specify the URL to point to it. Click on Next. And now this is the parameters page. First thing I need to do is give my stack a name, and then fill in the parameter values that the template is asking for. So we have the name of the database already filled in. I'll put my own password. the name of the root password for the database, the name of the user. I'll leave the instance type as T2 small, and I need to pick one of the key names for my account. You see how it gave a drop down with valid key pairs for my account. The next parameter is the valid IP addresses that can SSH to the instances, and I'll just leave that open to the internet for now. You could choose to add tags to your resources, and you could also choose to have CloudFormation use a IAM role, which has permissions to launch all of the services and resources in this template. But my own account permissions will be used by default, and I have sufficient permissions. So I'll just click on Next. Okay, we are ready to launch the template. Click on the Create button. And now CloudFormation will show us the events as they are being accomplished by CloudFormation. If I click on this Refresh button, I can see the events as they're being done. This will keep me up to date just by clicking on the Refresh button. It'll show me what is being worked on and what has been successfully created. Okay, so the CloudFormation template has completed all of the tasks. You can see all the events it performed. This tab here shows you the resources that it actually created. And then the most important thing is the Outputs tab that gives us the URL to our WordPress blog. If we want to make a change to this infrastructure, all we have to do is make the change in the template and then choose Update Stack. Here's where we provide the new version of the template and then go through the process again. CloudFormation will update all the resources managed by the stack to match the new template. With another service, Service Catalog, you could turn your library of CloudFormation templates into a self-service product catalog. A product consists of a CloudFormation template that you give permissions to other users to execute. Using IAM, you can limit permissions to certain users, and you can limit which products they can see when they browse the catalog. If you limit users to only launching CloudFormation templates from the Service Catalog, then you can enforce compliance with your security policies by publishing templates that have the security configuration and AMIs that you know are security hardened. In this video, we discussed using CloudFormation to define your infrastructure as a template, and then using the CloudFormation engine to create a stack of resources. We also talked about how you can publish CloudFormation templates in Service Catalog to make a self-service product catalog.